So Zamora with long in the backfield. Zamora with the keeper right up the gut. He's across midfield down to the 48-yard line.
Had just a little bit of a delay to free some of Fresno High's players, and then took advantage of the hole.
8-yard gain on the play.
So he picks up 8 on that first play. Brings up 2nd down and 2.
2nd and 2.
As the Highlanders are getting their play from the sideline. Zamora now coming back out onto the field with it. Taking a lot of time to get this play in. It's odd, Fred, how teams have gone to a no huddle to try to quicken the pace, but the signaling of the play in from the sideline doesn't seem to make things any quicker.
I like this. When you have a no huddle, and especially in a situation like both of these teams are going after that, that was no gain at all, is you want to give your linemen a little bit of a break, and if you give them an extra 10, 15, 20 seconds just to catch your breath, these guys going both ways, I think really appreciate that. Each time off the clock.
At the same time, though, the purpose of the no huddle is to quicken the pace, get the tire out the defense, and keep the defense guessing. And when you take this long to bring the play in from the sideline, it doesn't accomplish that.
I understand that also.
Zamora looking for a hole.
Herman Zamora.
That's going to be close.
Quarterback keeper.
Looks like he may be about a half a yard short here.
1 yard gain on the
Not
play.
a half-yard line, but a half a yard short. Might have to have a measurement here. From this viewpoint, they reposition the ball, and he's clearly short now.
Yes.
They had put it inside the 48, and now they moved it just a shade past 48.
So Zamora back on with the play. Long in the backfield. Quick snap, and Zamora's got the first down and about 3 extra yards.
Yeah, he had a head of steam and a good surge on that. Back to your the no huddle. What I'm waiting for teams to do, Dan, is go with the no huddle, come to the line of scrimmage, and then start mixing the cadence up a little bit and throw teams off balance. And we haven't quite seen that happen yet. I think that might be something we'll be seeing down the road. If I was the coach, I would be using it extensively, which is why I'm up here.
8:33 to play here in the second quarter. McLane High on top, 10-7. Highlanders now with the ball in Fresno High territory. Munoz cuts back,
Number 8.
picks up about 4 yards.
Julian Munoz. Gain of 3 on the play.
You know, it was a decent gain. It only went for 4 yards, but Fresno High had a good idea that was coming. They had that defensed real well.
I think if we pop another one of them, we're going to catch some dudes creeping up. And we'll get them.
Yeah, late switch as Long comes off. And Damon Dorsey now in the backfield. And he takes the handoff. And he picks up some yardage, and we've got a penalty flag thrown in the middle of that scrum.
Dorsey on the carry, penalty on the play.
Pointed at Fresno High, but usually in a position where you might get a hold. But we're going to face mask when he pointed to the
5
purple.
yards.
Okay.
It's going to be a first down.
So a big break for the Highlanders and a big blow for the Warriors, as that will extend this
5-yard
drive.
face mask penalty will be against the Warriors. Highlander first down, 1st and 10.
At the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 now for McLane, 7:32 to play in the first half.
And they just called a 5-yard face mask on that.
I like 5 sweep, JT.
Gamino now in the backfield.
Hey, number 8 is leaning again.
Almost intercepted. Was that caught? No, it was an incomplete pass.
Well, it looked like it slipped off the top of his fingers, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked as though he was in position to make the interception. It either went through his hands or just ticked off of the defender's hands.
Well, the Fresno High coaching staff, who's just to our left right now, they were thinking pick six right then and slipped off.
It had the makings of it, that's for sure. Gamino staying in the backfield. Dorsey remains in the game and in the slot position to the left side. Dorsey in motion, takes the pitch. Trying to get around the corner and does, and picks up potentially 5 yards, depending upon the spot.
He did a good job of hugging the sidelines over there.
Gain of 5 on the play.
And as you see, brand new field, brand new artificial turf here at McLane Stadium. The oldest high school stadium in the city of Fresno, and it has undergone some significant improvements this year. The new field, the new turf, I should say.
Timeout,
next year,
Warriors.
a new scoreboard.
Second charge timeout of the half.
So kudos to Fresno Unified, their athletic director, Pat Littlespringer.
This field, I was down here yesterday. It's just a very comfortable field. And we haven't had any rains this year, which when you play Thursday and Friday night games, it would be really torn up by early November. And now they play soccer on it too, and so even if we do have some wet weather for the playoffs and there are games being played here, it's not going to get chopped up. It'll be perfect for soccer in the winter and very early spring. Nice looking stadium.
6:36 to play in the first half. McLane on top 10-7. Highlanders with a 3rd and 5 from just inside the 30-yard line.
I'm going to our scoreboard and I see almost every game is 0-0, including this one. So score stream's a little bit behind.
Still on dinner break tonight. Oh, bobbled pitch. Alvarez managing to fight off one potential tackler, but
Number
he's
1,
going to be far short of the
Samuel
first down
Alvarez.
now. Daniel Alvarez on the
2-yard gain on
reverse
the play.
really had some difficulty handling that pitch.
And he got it down to inside the 30-yard line, but he was really having some trouble with it. It looked like he was going to be down outside the 30, so he made something go. But this brings up a 4th and a rather long 3 for the Highlanders. Going to go back
And regardless of the strong leg of their kicker, they are going to have the offense remain on the field, and they're going to go for it here on 4th and 3. Long alongside, Dorsey alongside, and Zamora is flung
Number
to the
24,
turf, well
Herman
short of the first
Zamora.
down.
Good defensive stand by the
Brought
Warriors.
down, turnover on downs. Warrior ball, 1st and 10.
So it'll go over on downs to Fresno High. The Warriors will take over at the 28, at their own 28-yard line.
You know, a lot of times when you see a defensive stand like that, the defense charges off the field and the offense charges on. Well, not much of a charge here because most of the offense is the defense. Same with McLane. Three
And
guys
that's a
went
little
off.
difficult trying to determine what just happened when you've got a massive pile of bodies out there and you're trying to determine whether they got the first down and the offense is staying on the field as if they did, and then it kicks in a second or two later that no, the offense is the defense as well.
Right. Yeah, no lineman went off the field on that.
So Nathaniel Nahara in at quarterback. Timeout taken.
Timeout, Warriors.
So the Warriors elect to take a timeout here.
Third charge timeout of the half.
5:44
Sponsored by
in the
KKR.
second quarter. Glad you're with us tonight on CMAC. You're watching, whether you're watching on Comcast Xfinity Channel 94, AT&T Uverse Channel 99, Cablecast app on Roku or Apple TV, and CMAC.tv/EDU. We're glad you're with us. Next week, though, we get the big one. It's the Battle for the Pig. The Little Big Game between Fresno High and Roosevelt, the 91st Little Big Game. And our coverage next Friday night here on CMAC will begin at 7:30.
And that should be such a good game. I remember a couple of years ago, Roosevelt went into that game without a win and beat a Fresno High team that ended up winning the NYL. No thanks to that game. Just a stunning upset, and it does happen.
Brown trying to turn the corner. Does. And he may well have passed the first down marker and picked up 11 yards right out of the gate. Cameron Brown, impressive running around the far side.
Well, the Warriors definitely have a speed advantage in this game.
I think we can get outside and run Oregon when needed.
So Cameron Brown brought it up to the 40-yard line.
A fact not lost on Fresno High's coaching staff up here. They know if they get it to the outside, they can spring some big gains.
Nahara out of the pistol. Mathis in motion. Nahara wanted to throw, pulled it back, now fires. He's got his man wide open, and that's Lopez. And Lopez is into Highlander territory to the 35-yard line.
Broke a couple of tackles.
Pass complete to number 23, Julian Lopez, and a Warrior first down.
And I like the way Nahara was patient there. He just waited, and
well, the pump fake always helps too, but
yes.
he started to throw, pulled it back, realized that the defender was closing and pulled it back, and then his second attempt was on the money.
Yeah, hit Lopez right there waiting. Rear
receivers will be at the top of your screen as Nahara barks out the signals. You see him on the close-up there. Give going to the back. And he tries to reverse course unsuccessfully.
Marshall on the carry.
Hey, give me Jeremiah A. Give me Jeremiah A.
Well, decent pursuit there for McLane. I thought that had a potential of getting a 4 or 5 yard gain.
On the play.
Just got past the line of scrimmage.
So second down 9 from the McLane 34-yard line. They've got to get it down to the 25 for a first down. Nahara going to put it up in the air. Ball's deflected or came out of his slip out of the hand.
Yeah, it looked like it just came out there, didn't it?
Incomplete. And it's now 3rd and 9.
Those of you following along the World Series, the end of 6, Houston Astros 4, Washington Nationals 1.
So big play for the Warriors on this drive. It is 3rd and 9. They send a couple of receivers out to the top of your screen. And that is Brown, who goes in motion and takes the pitch on the sweep. Cuts up, tries to reverse course, and does successfully. And he may well have the first down, and he does.
A good run by Brown, and the Highlanders are not being able to adjust. You know, you can kind of see that one going. The linebackers seem to be frozen.
A Warrior first down. Brought to you by Hit or Die.
Warriors are mixing things up nice on this drive.
So 3:25 to play in the first half. Fresno High on the move.
McLane seems real confused on defense right now, Dan.
Nahara surveys that defense. He's going to put it up in the air. Quick pass to Brown. Brown looking for a block. And he is going to be wrapped up and flung to the turf at the 22-yard line.
Number 1, Cameron Brown.
Brown got about 3 on that.
So it'll make it 2nd and 8. Nose of the football at the 20-yard line. of the Highlanders. Jeremiah Gamino now coming into the game for the Warriors as a wide out. Marshall comes out.
Where's my Z at? Where's the fucking Dominic? God damn it.
Well, the Warriors are going to have to burn, I think, their last time out of the half.
Looks like they had a formation snafu there.
Timeout, Warriors.
So Fresno High takes a timeout, 2:21 on the clock here. Big 2nd down and 7 play, as they've got a very impressive drive going against the Highlanders in hopes of either tying or going ahead in this one.
I do see that San Joaquin Memorial has a 28-0 lead on Madera so far, and Fresno Christian in the second quarter has a 39-0 lead on the Owl Paw Buffaloes.
That Dominic Van der Vert.
That's 8-man football. And Emmanuel is playing down up in Tracy against the Millennium Charter School Falcons, the Millennium Falcons. I'm guessing we probably have a Star Wars person that was in administration there.
Somebody that's involved with that school had some fun.
And Emmanuel has a 41-7 lead at the half.
Low snap, Nahara rolling to his left, looking for an open receiver. That is a tough throw, but he's got his man, and he's got a first down.
Nice throw across his body.
It's complete.
Keeps those chains moving.
Number 3, Maurice Mathis. And a Warrior first down.
Very impressive throw, rolling to his left. That is a very difficult throw for a right-handed throwing quarterback, and Nahara hit his man on the button. Ball's now at the 10-yard line, 1st and goal for Fresno High, as the Warriors on the march, hoping to grab a lead before half.
Number 23.
On the give, and he is stopped.
Lopez,
I should say, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Clock running, 1:38 to play here in the first half.
Highlanders did a good job of stiffing that out.
Brown back in for the Warriors. Mathis, the wide receiver, on the left of your screen. Nahara is going to throw it. He's got his man
open.
One-on-one, and he is ridden out of bounds at the 1-yard line. That was Jeremiah Gamino, who is driven out at the 1.
Third down.
Jeremiah Gamino.
Just outside the 1 there.
3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
I don't think I'd get too fancy here. You got maybe 2 plays to get in.
Robles now in the backfield behind Nahara. Low snap, rolling back to the quarterback, and he is going to be stopped for a loss.
Well, they gave him forward progress to about the original line of scrimmage.
Inside of a minute to play here in the first half, 54 seconds and counting.
Well, for the Warriors,
trail 10-7.
This is a no-brainer. You're on the 1-yard line, and you got the ball to start the second half. I mean, you got a chance to go in right now and really build some momentum.
Again,
another bad snap.
Tough one.
And
Nahara is going to be flung down for a loss back to about the 9-yard line.
Ball. Brought down for a loss.
And the Highlanders will take over.
And 10 for the Highlanders.
What a demoralizing turn of events, all by bad snaps. Both bad snaps on 3rd and 1.
A pair of bad snaps cost the Warriors dearly, as they had driven all the way down to the 1-yard line with an opportunity to either tie or take the lead going into the halftime locker room.
And they had plenty of time. Take your time.
So the Highlanders take over. Ball is at the 9-yard line, 1st and 10, with 35 seconds to play here in the first half.
I don't expect the Highlanders to get too cute right now. I think they'll be satisfied going in with the lead.
Dorsey takes the handoff and he has got a gain of about 9 yards.
Number 12, Damian Dorsey, the ball carrier.
Even though he ran out of bounds, the clock continues to run at 18 seconds.
Well, I think our side judge over there determined that he was smacked out of bounds. And
good call.
I will introduce our officials sometime in the second half.
Dorsey up the middle as the clock hits 0, and he is brought down shy of the 30-yard line. And that is how our first half ends. Very impressive effort by the McLane Highlanders in this first half of play.
The Highlanders are really fired up over there on their sideline, all 21 of them, and the coaching staff, after that big defensive stand. If I were the lineman, I think I'd walk into the locker room, though.
So the Warriors, with 10 points on the board, very impressive offensive effort in the first half. They lead at 10-7 over the Warriors, and we will be back with much, much more right ahead.
Hi, I'm Katie McEwen and I am the Video Production Academy Coordinator at Sunnyside High School. Starting sophomore year, students learn the basics of camera function and shot composition, as well as basic editing, audio, and storytelling. My role as coordinator is to oversee the academy as a whole, but I also teach the sophomores Intro to Video Production, and then I teach a senior course called Digital Video Production and Broadcasting, where seniors produce a once-a-week broadcast that airs to the school.
Hi, I'm Mr. Weaver, and I teach cinematography and advanced video. Junior year, they come to my class and they learn a lot more advanced techniques with audio, with camera control, with special effects, green screen, just a lot of the side things that they need to know in video production. And then senior year, it's Miss McEwen and I split, and then I'm on the cinema side, so it's more of a Hollywood type of model where they produce one film over a longer period of time, but they produce it to a perfection quality.
Hello everyone, my name is Joshua Medrano, and I teach a little bit of everything here at VPA with Katie McEwen. I teach intro to cinematography, editing, audio, a little bit of broadcast production, and I'm considered the lab tech here if something goes wrong with the computer or there's a very technical question with cameras or lenses.
The Video Production Academy is a 3-year program here at Sunnyside, starting sophomore year and goes all the way through senior year, where students get advanced training on all aspects of video production, from pre to production all the way through post.
They get to use really top-notch equipment. They have access to professional-grade computers, professional-grade cameras, lenses. We even have a drone that they can learn how to fly and get licensed to use.
Their senior year, they get to choose if they want to take a course in broadcasting and storytelling or cinematography.
The broadcasting class, which is a very fast-paced, think of it as a television station, a nightly news show, something that has to get produced quickly, be accurate, and be finished and exported and ready to show to the audience in a very short amount of time. Whereas my course, cinematography, we're much more based like a studio where, you know, we'll set up time and time again until the product is perfect, until the performance and the edit and the music and everything is exactly the way the student wants it to be. And I think that's just one of the big differences between the two sides of the Video Academy.
Hello, I'm Mr. Mendoza. I teach modern world history for the VPA. A lot of them come in with a wide range of skills. Some don't know anything, and some know just as much as we do as far as teachers. And so as far as when they grow, they take what they learn and they make it better and better and better.
Me being in the Video Production Academy when I was in high school definitely impacted my life because I realized that the 3 years that I was here, I had a stronger passion and love for video production, editing, and creating stories through the lens of a camera.
We learn a lot of skills that not everybody has. So using these programs like Adobe After Effects and Adobe Premiere, it's definitely going to be a big step up, especially when we go to college.
We take them on field trips every year to college campuses up and down California, as well as take them on field trips to industry professionals and have industry professionals come in and do guest speaking for the students.
A ton of the kids are part of CMAC, which is an extra program that they can do, you know, covering live events and just really upping their production game. What I really expect from the students is that they go beyond just attending class and doing the work. You know, they take environment of the family atmosphere, they're forming bonds with friends in here that literally could last for a lifetime, and they're learning video production as they go, just as a nice side byproduct.
We have potlucks and, you know, we work with each other amongst our different classes. Our classes are really, like, literally next door to each other. We're always there, and it brings us really close.
Support for this program is provided in part by the State Center Community College District, including Fresno City College, Clovis Community College, Reedley College, Madera Community College Center, and Oakhurst Community College Center. Learn more about our free college program at scccd.edu.
Hello, my name is Tim Lyles. I'm the very fortunate person that gets to be the principal here at Sunnyside High School. Opened in 1999, for 20 years now, we've been providing probably the most academically engaging, safe, and family-oriented environment for our students. We're extremely proud of our very strong academic reputation in the area. A huge part of that, of course, is our Doctor's Academy in partnership with UC San Francisco. Another big piece is our National Demonstration School status with Avid. But we also are very proud of, over the last few years, we've been the high school that sends the most students to Fresno State than any other high school in the area. That's besides all the UC campuses they go to and the privates. Another huge piece of our school is our career pathway programs, such as the very well-recognized Video Production Academy that we're in right now. We also offer opportunities for students in agriculture, multimedia and marketing, and health pathway, all getting kids some real-life learning opportunities. We think it's very important for students to be involved in opportunities outside the classroom. We do everything we can to provide that. With clubs, we have over 70 clubs on campus with a wide selection of things that kids would be interested in. With visual and performing arts, we've also done a wonderful job lately, and our teachers have gotten kids into performance opportunities beyond anything we could imagine, even including the Thursday night art hop, orchestra performances, band performances, choir performance, even improv. Kids have every opportunity to be involved in something outside the classroom. Our beautiful campus here provides a wonderful setting for us to build positive relationships on campus. And we think here at Sunnyside that relationships are foundational to learning, so much so that we build it into the structures of our school in a variety of ways. But one of those ways is through homeroom. When students enroll here as a freshman, they're assigned a homeroom teacher, and they stay with that homeroom teacher for the next 4 years. It's that homeroom teacher that actually hands them their diploma upon graduation. It's unique to Sunnyside High School, and it's a big part of who we are. And for athletics, of course, our absolute end goal is athletic excellence. And to that end, we've won several section championships, valley championships, and countless league championships. But the most important part about athletics here at Sunnyside High School, and what we're most proud of, is our very lengthy reputation for sportsmanship. That's the Wildcat way. And finally, two big things that make Sunnyside High School the unique place that it is. First of all, our wonderful celebration of diversity and welcoming everyone into the Wildcat family. And we can't end this video without talking about our amazing staff, from custodial to clerical, from vice principals to counselors, and of course, our amazing, amazing teachers. Everyone on campus does everything we can on behalf of students. Sunnyside High School is the place to be. Go Wildcats!
That's when I was exposed to the biggest bomb. We learned about fusing and firing sequences, how the bomb worked. We learned delivery tactics. We learned about safe escape, blast effects, all of those features about nuclear weapons that no one really knew much about. The impact really didn't hit me until my first alert tour when I was in a fully armed B-52 and saw those weapons inside the bomb bay. The most dangerous situation is to have Soviet ballistic missile submarines off the coast. And we know full well what their target package is. The price of failure was death. It's always in your mind before you know what the mission is, and that is the reason I'm taking off is because Fairchild is a target. In your mind, you have to deal with the fact that there may not be a Fairchild left after you get airborne.
Family means everything. Family means everyone put in one, and like we all respect each other.
But that's why we get the big bucks.
Welcome back to McLane Stadium, where the McLane Highlanders sit on top 10-7 on top of the Fresno High Warriors at halftime of this North Yosemite League battle. On the field, the Fresno High School Warriors marching band wrapping up their halftime performance. Well, an impressive first half of play, Fred, by the McLane Highlanders, who came in having struggled, losing their last 6 games in a row and winless in league play, but they came right out, drove right down, and came away with a 26-yard Diego Castro field goal. You had watched them in practice and thought, well, the kicking game may be a little suspect, and it was anything but.
Yeah, the extra point went for 45 yards. The field goal was impressive, and McLane, they came out. That opening drive was nice, and they had the second drive that got them the field goal, and Fresno High just looked absolutely anemic. And then when they made their quarterback change in the second half, they brought Nahara in, and their whole dynamic changed. And they moved the ball well. They mixed up their plays.
That was the 2019 Fresno
had
High School Warrior.
Great opportunity to go into the locker room
Mr. Reynolds would like to thank the students,
3 or 4 point lead, and
staff, administration,
some
and
very
Warrior
bad
Band
execution prevented that.
Well, here you saw Herman's Zamora with this punt return, and it looked like they had him bottled up. The Warriors did at least 3 times, and he bounced it to the outside and managed to get a big return inside the red zone.
And field show at Kingsburg High School at 3 p.m. Please come out and support your Warrior marching band and color guard. Thank you.
Wildcat offense as he bounced it outside. And that 10-yard run coming off the 30-yard punt return put the Highlanders on top. Put the Highlanders on top 10-0 there in the first quarter of play. Second quarter, Nahara the 10-yard scoring toss to get the Warriors on the board. And that's where we stand at the half. 10-7 McLane Highlanders. And there's a lot of enthusiasm across the way in that McLane bench area.
Yeah, when they made that stand and stopped the Warriors at the 1-yard line the last 2 plays of the half, it really energized the Highlander sideline. But, you know, both these teams, you know, you look at them, 20, 21 players on the sidelines, and a battle of attrition. You know, a couple of, key sprains or bruises could change the entire complexion of the game because both lines are virtually going both ways. So maybe it's who's in better shape.
Well, this is what we will find out come the fourth quarter at the very latest, if not sooner, here in the second half. We want to say a thank you to our sponsor, the State Center Community College District, including Fresno City College, Clovis Community College, Reedley College, Madera Community College Center, and Oakhurst Community College Center. Learn more about their free college program at sccd.edu. And we invite you to help support CMAC's nonprofit mission. Make a tax-deductible donation. Your contribution supports CMAC's nonprofit community media center that provides the free airtime and low-cost digital media training. Visit their website at cmac.tv today.
And these young people that are out here getting experience from CMAC, they just get better and better. And it's good to see people that have so much enthusiasm for coming out and doing this and, dealing with our egos.
Well, a big shout out to the McLane High School video production program as their students are staffing this one today, doing a terrific job, having a lot of fun doing it and learning a great deal as well. This hands-on training sets them up very well to get into the profession of their choosing in video production.
And when you have so many different angles on a football field, it's not an easy thing to do, and you have to follow all of the things the directors are telling you, different cameras at different times. I'm glad I'm not doing it.
Other games in the North Yosemite League tonight. Third place Hoover is at co-leader Reedley, and the other co-leader Sunnyside, a 3-0 team, is at second place Roosevelt. The Riders trying desperately to stay in the thick of this title chase. Following tonight, just another game left, and the regular season will wrap up. So the Riders at 3-1, chasing Reedley and Sunnyside, both 3-0 thus far.
Well, Dan, I cannot say enough about the job that Tony Gates has done out at Reedley. He came into this season, and I think the Pirates had only won like 6 games in the last 4 years. And they started out slow, and now they've got 6 wins under their belt.
What an enthusiastic guy, too. It was exciting to watch that game with Roosevelt. They did a tremendous job, and he was so enthused after that ball game and proud of the way his team played. And he's got him sitting alongside Sunnyside High, co-leading the North Yosemite League with 2 weeks to play.
Good job, Coach Gates.
And, of course, next week we'll be back with you on Friday night at 7:30 next Friday night for the Battle for the Pig, the 91st annual Little Big Game. The Pig Game that features Fresno High and Roosevelt, the oldest rivalry in the city and one of the oldest west of the Mississippi. So join us next Friday night at 7:30 here on CMAC for the Battle for the Pig. Fresno High and Roosevelt kicking it off at 7:30.
Interesting score up in O'Neill's. Sierra has a 14-6 lead over Minarets, and Sierra's winless this year. Minarets has a fairly good ball club, and that's a real surprise. Another one up in Oakhurst. Yosemite's got a 7-6 lead on Washington Union. And, a more physical team against a more talented team. And another touchback on this kickoff.
Wow, he is impressive. And we've got a penalty flag. A couple of players mixing it up there.
Place at the 20-yard line for a touchback.
At the 40-yard line, and the officials throw a flag. We'll see what the call winds up being.
I was about to point out that so far the game, even though it's been physical, it hasn't been too chippy. We haven't seen a lot of personal foul type penalties.
It. You had to do it. You had to think about it.
Yep, I had to think about it, and there
nice
we
job,
go.
Dan Taylor and Fred Clark with you here from McLane Stadium.
Bullard has got a 41-0 lead at Madera South in the second quarter. San Joaquin Memorial's at 48-0 on Madera over at Memorial, and not even halftime yet at either one of those games. Bullard started out a little slow against Madera South. Probably some turnovers, and it's avalanched up there on the Stallions. Clovis leads Clovis North 14-7 in the third quarter, and Buchanan has a 26-14 lead over Clovis East at the half.
Well, rather than the 20, the penalty will start the second half at the 10-yard line. Nathaniel Nahara back into pistol. And it'll be a reverse. And this is Cameron Brown.
He's got somebody wide open.
And what a comeback to make that catch, because
Brown's pass
Samuel Alvarez of the Highlanders was angling as though feeling as though he had it, the way he positioned himself. He thought he had the interception, and Cameron Brown doubled back and was able to snag that ball. The correction, Mathis was able to double back and make that catch.
And
that first down is sponsored by
Mathis had 10 yards when the ball was thrown, and he saw what was happening too. Good play, real heads-up play by the Warriors.
Not sure if we'll get the chance to see that again. Maybe at the end of the night we can have another look at it, but it's quite a play for the Warriors. So that brings up 1st and 10 now. Ball at the 37-yard line. And this is Julian Lopez.
That's a face mask.
Indeed, a face mask.
Number 23, Julian Lopez, the ball carrier. Penalty on the play.
And Cameron Brown hobbles off injured to the Fresno High bench.
Hopefully we just have a cramp there.
Officials meeting at the 43-yard line as we await the penalty call.
Well, it's going to be a face mask for determining whether it's going to be a 5 or a 15.
Okay. 5 yards. 5 yards. Okay. Face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Face mask penalty against McLane.
And it's a 5.
Yeah, it's a 5.
So that'll place the ball at the 47-yard line, 48-yard line, I guess it is. So Fresno High.
If we don't have a head twist, they're usually call it a 5 here, I think.
Blitz coming from the Warriors. Naharo double pumps. He's got his receiver at the 45 before a couple of defenders will
pass complete to number 3.
Wrestle him down.
Maurice Mathis.
Mathis making that catch.
Yeah, McLane bought the heat on that to try and force Nahara to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker and maybe make a mistake, but Nahara stepped up in the pressure, found his man for a decent gain.
So the Warriors into McLane territory. 2nd out and 3 from the 45-yard line of the Highlanders. Three receivers at the top of your screen for the Warriors. Nahara, a very strong-armed quarterback, but they're going to keep the ball on the ground. And Lopez manages to pick up about a yard, maybe 2. No, the spot's not going to be that generous. It'll wind up being a yard.
Well, 3rd and 3, and the Warriors, just like they were doing the end of the half, they started out at about their own 10-yard line, and they moved the ball decently, one big play. But McLane, just as they have a lot of young players here. They're somewhat inexperienced on defense, and they're just trying different things.
Nahara's going to throw.
Got pressure again.
Complete.
Pass
And
complete
shoved
to
out of
number 3,
bounds
Maurice Mathis.
at the Highlander 35 is Maurice
And
Mathis.
a Warrior first down.
A little bit of shoving and a few words over there, but no flags.
So the Warriors continue the march as they're now down to the 35-yard line of the McLane Highlanders, trailing this one 10-7, 9:43 to play in this third quarter at McLane Stadium. Glad you've joined us here on CMAC. And then be sure to be with us next Friday night for the big one, the 91st Little Big Game, matching the oldest rivals in Fresno, these Fresno High School Warriors and the Roosevelt High School Rough Riders.
Well, they're taking serious time on this one. The Warriors may have to burn a timeout.
I think they're going to have to. This play call took a lot of time as Nahara now trots back out as they do huddle up.
Well, I don't see the back judge counting yet, so all right.
That's a little odd. They had a player go on, come into the huddle, and then come out. And usually you have to stay in the game for a play.
Mm-hmm.
Run play picks up about 3 yards.
2 on the play.
But yeah, Dominic Corral went in with Nahara and was in the huddle for the play call and then came out. And he has been a messenger throughout the first half.
Well, the officials have not picked up on this as you did. And now it kind of happened again.
Second down and 8. Nahara back in there in the backfield. 3 receivers now down on the right side of the formation.
I think the Warriors moved a little soon on that.
Penalty before the snap. Penalty will be against the Warriors, moves them back 5 yards.
So the penalty brings the football back to the 38-yard line, and it'll make it second down and 13 for Fresno High.
Yeah, McLane's coaches are trying to change things up over there, and the players constantly looking over.
Warriors hurry to the line of scrimmage.
Again.
Indeed, showing blitz and then dropping back. Nahara forced out of the pocket, overthrows his receiver, incomplete.
Intended for number 9, Jaden Gomez.
Once again, they get down into McLane territory, and the offense begins to sputter.
Yeah, bogged down a little bit. The Highlanders did a pretty good job on coverage that play.
Well, they were showing blitz, then backing out of it, and they brought some pretty good pressure. .7:55 to play. Third quarter here from McLane Stadium, as the McLane High School Highlanders sit on a 10-7 lead over the Fresno High Warriors. Warriors now with a big 3rd and 13. Very big play for them. Nahara, and he has Emmanuel Robles alongside him in the backfield. Boy, Nahara was moving well before that ball was snapped, too.
Yeah.
He's got an arm, he's got a man open, and he overthrows him.
Nahara's pass is incomplete.
And before we go to this 4th down play, Dan, the officials tonight, the referee is Brian Pinto, whose father was a friend of mine like 50 years ago.
Situation for the Warriors.
The umpire is Preston Falcon. The head linesman is McKinley Lee, who is a player at Fresno State that is an injury redshirt this season. The line judge is Omar Mesley, and the back judge is Thomas Pinedo.
So 4th and 13, and the Warriors are going to go for it. They have to get to the 25-yard line. Nahara rolls. He's got a man. He lets it fly. Is it complete? It is complete. And it is being
they're ruling it down at the 1 yard line.
Pass is complete to number 9, Jaden
If we had
Gomez.
a replay on that, it looked to me for a second like
Down
the
at
ball,
the 1 yard line.
the ball may have came out and hit the ground. We're
And
not
the
gonna.
Warrior first down.
We don't have reviews in high school football, which is a good thing. Big play by the Warriors.
Yeah, I wish we could see that play again on replay. I guess
Yeah.
we won't be able to, but nope. Yeah, that did look as though that may have come out.
Yeah. The last time the Warriors had the ball on the 1 yard line on third down, they had 2 unsuccessful plays. We'll see if they can punch it in this time.
First and goal for the Warriors, who line up in the pistol as opposed to up under center with a yard to go. On the give to Marshall, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Number 16, Emmanuel Robles.
Oh, that was Robles.
I like that
in the
call
backfield.
too. I would run that play 3 more times.
No gain on the play.
Maybe a different slant to it.
Second goal.
Same basic thing. Robles has got a lot of blasting power, and yeah, when you're at the 1 yard line, you expect to be able to get in the end zone.
So the ball's at the 2 yard line, so it brings up second down and goal for the Warriors from the 2. As the big back Marshall is now in there alongside Nahara in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left. And it's play action. Nahara, he's got a wide open field and he scores.
Nahara,
not a bad
the
call.
quarterback keeper.
And the Warriors take almost
And
6
a
minutes off the clock.
touchdown.
Go 90 yards on 2 big plays. Take their first lead since the opening game of the season against Chowchilla.
So you see the play action, frees the defense, and Nahara, once he rolls out, realizes that he's got clear sailing into the end zone.
Kick's
Extra
blocked.
point, though, indeed, Fred, the kick is blocked.
Point after attempt is no good. 6:15
one of the
remaining in the
interior
third
linemen
quarter
got
play.
a bit up there and blocked it.
Fresno High Warriors
And the
13,
Warriors lead
McLane
is
Highlanders
3.
10.
So they keep it to a 1 possession difference now at 13-10. Fresno High on top for the first time tonight.
And the first time since late August. They had a 12-0 lead over Chowchilla in their opening game, and Chowchilla came back and won 27-12, and that was the last time the Warriors had a lead.
So Emmanuel Nahara running that one in from 2 yards out. Puts the Warriors on top for the first time tonight. The first time, as the coach noted, since back in August. A very short kick.
Fumble.
Oh, it's fumbled.
Fresno
And Fresno
High got
High, you're right, Fred. Fresno High has got that football.
Kickoff is
That
recovered
was
by the
LaFarge
Warriors.
on the
Number
up man.
9, Jaden Gomez. Warrior ball, first and 10.
And the Warriors caught
On the
McLane.
Highlander,
They really caught him asleep on that. It was
44-yard
a
line.
real short pooch kick. And the Highlanders were asleep at the wheel. Big break for the Warriors, and now they have a real bounce in their step.
So a huge break for Fresno High here to take over with the football at the 44-yard line, and we have a penalty flag.
Penalty before the snap.
On the offense, it's a 5-yard penalty,
participation.
first down.
Penalty will be against the Warriors.
Yeah, they had 12 guys on the field.
Works in Canada, but not in the lower 48.
You'd think when you only have 21 guys on your roster, you would be able to keep track of them a little bit better than that.
So the ball is moved back to the 49-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 15 for the Warriors. Nahara with Lopez in the backfield alongside. Now Lopez goes in motion.
Swing pass.
Nahara firing.
Nahara's pass is incomplete.
To Mathis, incomplete. And wide open running down there.
Yep.
We have a score from Washington, D.C. Top of the ninth. Houston Astros 4.
That is a
partial. So it brings up a 2nd and 15.
Washington Nationals 1.
Give goes to Lopez, trying to bounce it outside. Cuts back. Picks up.
Number 23, Julian Lopez.
To get to the 45-yard line before he is stopped. Which could bring up a 3rd and 2, perhaps.
You know, that last drive the Warriors had, they went 90 yards, and I didn't total up the amount of plays, but about 70 of those came on 2 passing plays.
So the ball is placed at the McLane 47. 3rd and 13. Nahara's going to put it up. No, he's going to try to evade a fierce
He's got
rush.
a man wide open over here and caught him.
That's Brown. Brown hauled down at the 25-yard line.
To number 1, Cameron Brown.
And Brown did a good job following what Nahara was doing and kept moving around, and he found himself open, and Nahara caught him.
Well, the Highlanders put some intense pressure on Nahara, forced him out of the pocket, but that strong arm of Nahara has managed to turn that into a big, big gain.
And, you know, got to give Brown some credit on that, too. He didn't just stand there and wait when he saw Nahara into trouble. He kept going and established another pattern.
So 1st and 10. Give goes to Lopez, hit at the line of scrimmage, but keeps on churning and picks up maybe 2, potentially 3 yards.
Julian Lopez.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be caught for about a 3-yard loss.
Ball set at the Highlanders' 29-yard line. It'll make it 2nd down 8 with 4:27 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Fresno High on top 13-10 and on the march trying for more. Dan Taylor and Fred Clark with you from McLane Stadium. North Yosemite League football. Nahara fakes it, throws to Mathis. Touchdown, Warriors.
Pass complete.
Nice setup.
To number 3, Maurice Mathis, and a Warrior touchdown.
And the Warriors' speed advantage has been very apparent on this drive.
So with 4:05 to play here in the 3rd quarter, very explosive combination. Nahara and Mathis teaming up for the 2nd Warriors touchdown of the 2nd half as they extend their lead now to 19-10.
They're going to go for 2 on this, Dan.
Nahara has Robles in the backfield behind him. Double pump, triple pump, and overthrew his receiver. Incomplete, so the 2-point attempt fails. But the Warriors now with a 9-point lead, 19-10 over the Highlanders, 4:05 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Now the Warriors have taken almost 8 minutes off the clock. The Highlanders have given up 2 touchdowns without running an offensive play.
4:05 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
McLane,
Fresno High
since the 1st quarter,
19.
they really haven't done much of anything offensively. It's important now that they at least get a couple of 1st downs and establish some type of field position and to show Fresno that they can still score or move the ball. This is a huge possession for the Highlanders.
And they're going to...
Oh, they almost got it again.
Did it go enough? Did it go long enough?
Kick will go out of bounds.
It did go long enough.
Highlanders will take over.
Went across midfield, and
10.
McLane fumbled it around, but it rolled out of bounds before they could do any damage.
So the Highlanders will start possession at their own 46-yard line after the short kick.
Good field position for the Highlanders if they can make something happen now.
4:03 to play here in the third quarter as the Fresno High Warriors have extended their lead now to 19-10 over the Highlanders. That is Herman Zamora, number 24, at the top of your screen, getting the play call from his head coach.
Smells like somebody in the neighborhood who's got a really good barbecue going right now.
It sure does. Straight ahead. That is Gamino.
USC has narrowed the gap at Colorado to 31-28 with 7 minutes left in the game.
On the carry.
So Ernesto Gamino pushes the ball across midfield to the Fresno High 48-yard line.
At the 48-yard line.
Brings up second down and 4 for the Highlanders. Zamora lets fly. Complete.
Oh,
and he evades the defender for the touchdown.
We're going to have, I don't know if it's
Samuel
coming back.
Alvarez.
There's a flag back here at the 45-yard line. It's going to be roughing the passer on the Warriors. Penalty will be declined.
Penalty will be declined. And a Highlander touchdown.
So one play, and this game is tightened up again, Dan.
Very impressive, though. We were saying earlier, we thought being in the Wildcats so much tonight, we wouldn't see the ball in the air by the Highlanders. But they were very effective and very impressive on that one.
And they really confused the Warriors on that play. Fake end around.
Castro on in a kicking attempt.
Wow.
He sends that ball out to Firebaugh.
Wow,
Point after attempt is good.
That may have went over the fence, over the flagpole.
So 18-17 our score, or 19-17 I should say our score, as the Highlanders now draw within 2 with that impressive scoring strike. Zamora to Samuel Alvarez.
Well, one play like that, I mean, it's been a big play second half, Dan.
It has, and this is far from over. They did a terrific job on that sideline, being able to free himself from that defender, and once he did, it was off to the races. He had no one to beat, plenty of open space, and Samuel Alvarez with the touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like the defender tried to get him a little high, and he just kind of slid down him like a pole, didn't he?
So contrast in kickoff styles, we've seen the short kick by the Warriors, and in one instance, it paid dividends as the ball was coughed up by the Highlanders, and on the other side of the football, the McLane kicker, Diego Castro, one of the strongest leg kickers we've seen in Central Valley High School football in a while.
Yeah, I wonder if he was out here at practice yesterday, because I didn't see anything like that.
Well, I remember him from last year, but he never got on the field, and was extremely impressed with him in pregame. And of course this year, the Highlanders, one of the things we noticed before the game, they took their pregame up on a field outside the stadium and didn't come into the stadium until there were about 4 minutes left on the clock before the start of the game.
Yeah.
Once again, boots it into the end zone. So I don't know what, Fred, that they were working on up there on the upper field before coming into the stadium, whether it was their wildcat formation or maybe they've got something up their sleeve that they'll use in the fourth quarter. But it was very surprising. We haven't seen that before, where the team didn't come into the stadium at all. until it was inside of 5 minutes to kickoff.
Yeah, I'm going to break off a call to Coach Cummings this week and see what that was all about. I have no problem with it at all.
So the Warriors begin possession, 3:16 to play in the third quarter. They're at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Again, a low snap, and Nahara having to evade the rush, and he is stopped and driven down at the 10-yard line.
Down for a
loss
loss
of about 11 yards.
And it could have been worse. Nahara did a good job. He's got a lot of strength there, and he's able to shake the initial tackle off, but he had nowhere to go, and he did not have time to set up.
Now the ball's going to be placed at about the 13-yard line.
Like 2.5 minutes left in this third quarter.
Warriors now with a 2nd and 18. Nahara fires, and it is incomplete. Bounce from the turf in front of his receiver. 3rd down. It's going to be a big stop for the Highlanders.
Now the Warriors have made a couple of big conversions on 3rd and long tonight. A big stop so the defense can stay on the field.
Third down and 18 for the Warriors. Nahara rolls right. Has a receiver. Pass a bit short and incomplete.
Pass intended for number 1, Cameron Brown. Incomplete. 4th and long situation for the Warriors.
So 4th down situation for Fresno High, and they sent the punting unit out onto the field. 2:12 to play here in the third quarter. And the Highlander defense doing a terrific job there, being able to
that's the first
come up with a 4 and out.
Yeah, that's the first big stop they've made in a while. This is only Fresno High's, what, 3rd punt of the game? It's the 2nd one that I can remember. Might want to take a step back there, putter. Camino.
He's at midfield, and he's got, oh, boy, did he deplete that player. And penalty flags come out.
They're going to call a clip on that, and I don't agree
I don't agree with that either.
Number 34.
It looked like he knew he was going to get any turn, and they, I don't know, they should talk these over. There's 2 flags down. Nope, they're not talking it over. That.
Well, he managed to return it to the 19-yard line, but it's going to come back, and they're going to say that was either a block at the back. Well, the officials now gathering there at the 35-yard line to discuss it.
See, in my humble opinion, he clearly turned around and drew the foul, but I did not think that was a clip at all.
Yeah, that was Diego Castro, I believe, the Highlander who leveled the Fresno High player on that.
Yeah, I thought it was a good block.
And the officials are having a conversation about it there.
Well, they're not going to overturn a call like that.
Personal foul against the Highlanders.
I call that a being hosed call.
Don't know if we have that on replay at all, the ability to see that once again, perhaps not, but I don't know. And it was behind the play as well. It was inconsequential to the outcome of the return.
15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul moves the Highlanders back to the 35-yard line.
What coaches,
first and 10
when you're breaking down film and you see one like that. I'm going to date myself. We were at playing Hanford down, I think it was 1980, with the Edison team, and we had a 85-yard kickoff return, and it was negated by just a horrible call on an illegal block, and we're looking at film on that the next week, and it's like, how could they even think about calling that? But, you know, in the spur of the moment.
Zamora with a pump fake and a drive, and he is up near the first down.
Boy, he got that last yard on just all guts, didn't he, Dan?
Sure did.
That was a good hit.
So it is indeed a first down for the Highlanders. Nose of the football is on their own 45-yard line.
45-yard line.
A minute 26 to play here in the third quarter from McLane Stadium. Glad you're with us here on CMAC for North Yosemite League football. Long, the man in motion. Give going up the middle to Dorsey, and Dorsey continues. That's Gavino, I should say, down inside the 28, about the 19-yard line.
The ball carrier. Tripped up.
Ernesto Camino down to the 19-yard line.
Fresno High really bit on that sweep fake. I noticed McLane's changed their fight song from On Michigan to On Wisconsin.
Zamora brings down a high snap. Let's fly. He's got his man. It is complete. That's Alvarez.
Pass complete to number 1, Samuel Alvarez.
He's at about the 15-yard line.
Looked like we had a little bit of a crab there.
Brown.
Looks like one of the Warriors had their hands on a little bit too, and Alvarez was just able to wrestle it around for it. And only a gain of about 4 yards after all that. That's going to be the last play of the third quarter, Dan.
I'm a little distracted by the barbecue, Fred. Sorry about that.
That does smell good, doesn't it?
It sure does. 4 seconds on the clock as it is stopped here by a timeout. Now the official signaling to the clock operator to fire it back up again, and it's going to run out, and that's going to conclude the third quarter of play here from McLane Stadium.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. McLane Highlanders 17. Fresno High Warriors 4.
San Joaquin Memorial's just putting it to Madera over at Memorial 55-0. And Memorial has just come alive later in the season. They lost that opener to Kingsburg, and then they had a couple other close games, and they buried Edison last week by 6 touchdowns, and now they're just hammering Memorial. And they have to go out to Sanger next week, and if the Apaches take care of business with Edison, they could earn a tri-championship if they defeat Memorial at Sanger and Bullard defeats Edison. That game with Bullard and Memorial, it was the first league game, and Memorial won by 2 points. The Knights missed 3 extra points.
It's an exciting time of the season as we get down to the final 2 weeks, and the chase for the championships is at fever pitch. Also keeping an eye on some games in the North Yosemite League tonight as 4th place Hoover is at co-leader Reedley. Co-leader Sunnyside is at 2nd place Roosevelt. Roosevelt 3-1. The other 2 are undefeated in league play. So the Riders need to win to force themselves into a tie with Sunnyside at the very least. But a second loss would knock them out of title contention.
Interesting night. I'll see if I can get a score there before too long.
3rd down and 3. Big play for the Highlanders as that football is at the 13-yard line. Loose football, and all Zamora can do is dive onto that football. And though he was not able to retain it, a big break for the Warriors.
Warriors
comes away with the football.
Wow, Wow, I thought the Highlanders recovered
by
that.
number 33, Juan Flores. Warrior ball, 1st and 10.
Well, it's a big break for the Warriors as they come up with a loose football down there in the red zone.
McLane had already had Castro coming in for a field goal attempt. Now he's just going to, he's coming in anyway. He just didn't know it at the time. Instead of the kick, he's going to be in to play safety.
That's right. 11 minutes and 15 seconds left in this ball game. Highlanders had driven all the way down, trying to leapfrog back into the lead. They trail 19-17 as the Warriors now take over following the turnover. Ball at the 15-yard line. Give goes to Robles. And he is not going, well, no, he slips away from 2 tacklers before he is wrestled out of bounds.
Yeah, both of those looked like he could was going to be brought down. They hit him low. He is just able to gallop out of it.
Alvarez finally wrestling him out of bounds.
Madera's on the board over at Memorial, 55-7. And USC has come back to take a 35-31 lead against Colorado with 2 minutes left and temporarily saving Coach Helton's job.
Well, they have been trailing that in the entire night back there. So they grab the lead when it counts. Nahara rolls, throws. He's got his man Mathis wide open. And did the knee go down just short or beyond the first down marker?
Looked like Mathis is just trying to stop and cut and go in a different direction, and his knee hit down, and it's going to be about a yard short. If he would have been able to make that cut, he had some yardage.
So the spot is a yard shy of the first down. 3rd down play for the Warriors. So this is a very big play for them because they got an opportunistic turnover as the Highlanders were on the march. And now Fresno High has to take advantage of it. 3rd and 1, Nahara. He's going to put the ball up in the air. Deflected, caught. Mathis has the first down at the 32-yard line.
Number 3, Maurice Mathis.
You pointed this out earlier in the game. Nahara's been able to take advantage. He's been able to take a step back without it being called. That was another one there where it was close, but he took the step.
It has been very close. He certainly has, not to be critical, but yes, he has been moving prior to the snap.
I'm not going to be too critical, though. He has done a good job.
Oh, he's done a terrific job. Did not come in until the start of the second quarter, and he has moved this offense very effectively. Give goes to Robles. To the near sideline before being brought down.
Emmanuel Robles.
And he gets 5 or 6.
And after that contact, Robles was able to roll without touching the ground for another couple of yards.
So the ball laid on the 37-yard line. 2nd and 5 for Fresno High. Nahara with the fake. Whistles it past the receiver Marshall, incomplete.
It was a nice fake, nice setup.
But again, a 3rd and down situation for the Warriors. Important play to try and keep not only possession of the football, but to keep this drive alive. Prevent the McLane offense from coming back on the field. Well, they are on the field, but they're playing defense. That's what happens when you have a smaller squad size.
I grasped your meaning quickly.
That was the intent. 3rd and 5 for the Warriors. Robles the lone back alongside Nahara. Low snap, he pulls it up, fires, has Mathis for the first down.
Pass complete.
And he's up near midfield.
3, Maurice
Big
Mathis.
gainer for the Warriors. Maurice Mathis hauls down the throw.
12-yard gain.
And a
the
football out near the 50-yard line.
And Mathis did a good job holding on to the ball, because after he brought it down, he had got the first down, and he was hit hard twice.
So the Warriors have come up big on third down on this drive at the latest opportunity, where Mathis hauls in the zinger and is brought down just shy of the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. 7:48 to play in this game. Robles cuts back. Picks up about 5.
Robles, the ball handler.
Short of the 45-yard line.
And I've liked this call on first down. The last 3 times they've done this,
gain on the play.
They've given the ball to Robles, and he's been able to get, 4, 5, 6 yards on this, and it really takes a lot of the pressure off of you and ramps it up on the defense when you have 2nd and 5 to go. And we're winding down to about 7 minutes left in this game, and this is just what the Warriors want to do now, just keep eating that clock up.
2nd down 5. Nahara and Robles, the 2 in the backfield. 3 receivers to the near side. Robles had to try and dance over a teammate.
On the carry.
Well, he lost a couple on that one, and another big play here for the Highlanders defense.
So they're facing third down again. 3rd time on this drive. It's 3rd and 6. Football's at the McLane 47-yard line. Again, 3 receivers to the near side. Robles the back alongside Nahara. Pass complete.
First down yardage, that's Brown.
And again, a big gain on 3rd down.
Cameron Brown.
And Cameron Brown gets down to the 33-yard line.
Brown did a good job bringing that ball. It was just a little overthrown, apparently, but he was able just to bring it in. And a huge first down for the Warriors, and the Highlanders are now reeling.
So big first down for the Warriors as Nahara. And a timeout is going to be taken by McLane High School.
Timeout McLane.
So the McLane staff wants to talk it over with the Highlander defense here. On a big first down here at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, that was a 3rd straight 3rd down that Fresno High's converted on. And been eating up a lot of clock. Again, over 5 minutes on this drive alone.
So the McLane coaching staff talking to their defense, and on the near side, the Fresno High coaching staff is surrounded by their offensive unit, as the Warriors would like nothing more to drive in for a score that...
Now I've got a few updates here, and these are ones that are a real surprise. Edison is up on Sanger 28-10 at the half. I never saw that one coming. Reedley's ahead of Hoover 21-14 at the half. Not a bad game. Clovis is up on Clovis North 28-27 midway through the 4th quarter.
Give us to Robles. Bounces off a linebacker. Dances down the sideline. And finally out of bounds
Robles
at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, just couldn't quite walk that tightrope. And
so if Reedley hangs on and wins that game, they would have at the very least a co-championship, setting up a huge game next week in the finale with co-leader Sunnyside.
Well, now here's another surprise. Washington Union down 7-6 up at Oakhurst at the half. Storm back in 135-7. That is a final.
Robles once again. It works once, call it again, and he is flung out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. You talk about Oakhurst, great memory of high school football here in the Valley. Years ago, covering a game up there at Oakhurst, a Yosemite High game, and the legendary actor before his passing. Dennis Morgan sitting in the front row of that game.
Whoa, all right.
And that's a Warrior first down.
So first down for Fresno High at the 22-yard line of the Highlanders. And instead of, the pass to Lopez, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown.
Okay, he fumbled the ball after he had already touched it down.
Pass complete to number 23, Julian Lopez, and a Warrior touchdown.
And that was just a quick hitter over the middle. Now we got a replay on this.
Boy, he threaded the needle perfectly to Lopez, who took it in, and of course the ball came loose, but it was well after he had crossed the goal line. And the Warriors extend their lead.
The Highlanders completely bit on that fake too. Totally bit on it.
So the Warriors will go for 2 with a 25-17 lead. Could they push it to 10? Nahara fires, and it is incomplete. Deflected away at the last moment. So, 2-point conversion attempt fails, but with 5:24 remaining, the Warriors extend their lead to 25-17.
Well,
Fresno High Warriors 25.
Okay, Dan, reel me back in again here. You're up by 8 points. An extra point makes it a 2-score game. Why do you go for 2? They've made 1 extra point tonight. I mean, what is the possible logic of that? I'm clueless. I have no idea. No idea. Well, let's see if the Highlanders can take advantage of that. I don't know.
What is undeniable is the impact of Nathaniel Nahara, who did not play in the first half of this one. And since coming on in the second quarter, he has thrown touchdown strikes 3 times and has run it in once.
Yeah, they're a completely different offense with him in there.
Completely different ball club with him in there. As our score now 25-17 Warriors, and we will see if the extra point decision comes back to bite them as Fred is concerned. A short kick to an up man who has it go in and out of his fingers. And the Highlanders will down it at the 23-yard line.
Zamora recovers the ball. Highlander ball, 1st and 10.
Now the Highlanders have got 76 yards to go. And not an explosive passing attack. So after saying
it's been there when they've needed it, though.
Yeah, they have.
Been very effective when they've needed
it.
Herman Zamora certainly in there in the Wildcat to run, but he's had a couple of instances tonight when throwing has worked out very, very well.
And they do have time. It's just a 1-score game, and then possibility of a 2-point conversion if they convert.
And he gives it to Alvarez, the man in motion. He's got room to run. Looks like he's been pulled down by the jersey, but he's still on his feet. And he's up beyond the first down marker to the 40-yard line.
Picks up a Highlander first down.
Almost looked as though he was horse-collared there for a moment, but he managed to snap free and pick up 5 more yards.
Looks like we've seen a couple of horse collars tonight that kind of went by the wayside. And with that, they're being consistent.
1st and 10 for the Highlanders now at their own 40-yard line. 5 minutes to play in this game. Warriors hoping for their first win of the season. Highlanders hoping to snap a 6-game losing streak as Zamora dances his way out near midfield. He's down at the 48-yard line.
Keeps the ball.
Pick up 2nd down and 2.
He made 2 nice stutter steps on that.
Gain of 8 on the play.
He is very effective at exploiting a fierce pursuit, be it a stutter step in the backfield on the snap, be it a stutter step while running in open field, or be it with a pump fake as a quarterback. on a throwing situation. 2nd out and 2 for the Highlanders. They trail 25-17. Zamora. That play never materialized at all, and
loss of 5 on the play.
Ernesto Gamino is brought down for a loss.
Well, the Warriors were completely not fooled by that. Well, he didn't do a real good job selling the play. I mean, he pretty much eyed that one the whole way, and the Warriors did the same.
So that play puts the ball back at the 43-yard line. And the Highlanders here on 3rd down have got to get to midfield. On the reverse. This is Alvarez. Breaks free. He's up beyond the 1st down marker. Was he in bounds?
He was.
And the side judge is standing just at about midfield.
And Alvarez did that all on his own. I mean.
The pursuit of the Warriors, it looked like they were going to bring him down to the backfield, and he managed to get to the outside, and he's got a 1st down. They moved the chains.
Yeah, he had to be tightrope walking over there. It looked like the Warriors could have forced him out of bounds.
3 minutes and 18 seconds to play, folks. Buckle up, because we are looking at an exciting finish here. McLane High trailing 25-17. Nose of the football at the 50-yard line. Zamora with the fake, gives it. Dorsey dances his way. Tries to cut upfield and finally does and gets about 3 yards. Looked as though he ran about 20 yards, but picked up 3.
I heard McLane's eyes in the sky, and the booth a couple over from us yelling, "Run upfield!"
That was always one of the first big lessons for high school running backs. They want to dance around. They want to avoid being brought down.
Go
really
between
just
the
have to do
tackles.
is trust.
Yes.
Trust the process and run upfield. So it's 2nd down 7 for the Highlanders. Zamora, stutter step. Up to the 40. He's got a 1st down. Down at the 36-yard line, and he is flung out of bounds.
Herman Zamora with the quarterback keeper. Picks up a Highlander 1st down.
2.5 minutes left here. The Highlanders have already moved the ball about 40 yards.
In comes Alvarez. Out goes Silvas.
I looked across the way, and the Highlander band is gone, as are several of their fans. I don't understand.
There were a lot of people, even up here in the press box, who got up and left the press box after that Fresno High score. Zamora. He's going deep and is intercepted. That ball is intercepted by the Warriors.
He's got a line in front of him.
Brown blasted and knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
By number 1.
And that's going to be a personal foul on that on the Highlanders for knocking him out of bounds there. I think that may have been a little bit of a result from yelling on the sidelines, but it didn't look too bad from this angle.
So the officials walking out toward midfield now, discussing this one, as we had both a penalty flag and then the official who threw the penalty flag then threw his hat.
It's going to go 15 yards up from here, okay?
Well, I understand the call McLane made there. You know, you've put it up for Alvarez to try and bring it down because he has a few times tonight, but they were moving the ball real well on the ground.
Targeting 55 on the kicking team, 15 yards, and it'll be a 1st down.
Penalty against the Highlanders.
Well, there you hear them see the call.
15 yards for a hit to the head. Warrior ball. 1st and 10 on the Highlander 40-yard line.
So the Highlanders, I think, have 2 timeouts left, but 1 minute and 52 seconds. The Warriors get a 1st down. Now they can pretty much close this out and maybe get their first victory of the season.
Wouldn't that be something? Going into the pig game next week. First and 10 Warriors from the 40-yard line. Najera, Lopez, Najera's handoff.
Number 23, Julian Lopez.
38-yard line, picks up 2, about maybe 3. But more importantly, that running play is going to keep the clock ticking. 1:36. So Najera comes back out into the huddle. 1:21 to play, 25-17. Warriors trying to hang on and nurse this lead. Second down, 7. Oh, hit in the backfield. That is Lopez brought down, and it's now third down and about 11 maybe. McLane takes a timeout.
Is that their final timeout, Dan, or do they have one more?
I think they may have one more timeout left. 1:03 on the clock.
I'm not going to be too cute on this one if I'm Fresno High. You don't really want to give McLane any opportunity for a turnover. Let them burn that last time out, and then stick them deep in their own end zone and make them go, or in their own end, and make them go 80 or 90 yards for a touchdown without any timeouts.
So this plays the game for Fresno High as they sit on a 25-17 lead, pursuing their first win of the season. But they're looking at 3rd and 12. And as we've seen on 3rd and long for Fresno High throughout the night, the ball's gone in the air.
And they've been very successful on 3rd down the second half.
Here we go. Can the Warriors continue this drive? Najera, he's keeping it. He tucks it. He runs. He's got room. And he is dragged down well shy, about 6 yards shy of the first down.
Penalty on the play.
Penalty flag down.
I like that play too. I like Najera. Oh, holding on the Warriors.
Holding penalty against the Warriors.
Well, with 51 seconds left.
Would you decline it? You pretty much have to, right?
Well, it's still going to be 3rd. Maybe they're going to take it back here. I don't know. Because the clock stopped on that. Okay,
So the ball's marched back to the 46-yard line. It'll make it.
Holding penalty will be declined.
Correction. Highlanders smartly decline that penalty. It'll bring up 4th down.
Ball be placed at the Highlander 36-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play.
Okay, 4th down, and okay, the Warriors are going to go for it here.
So
and they're just going for the win right now. They don't want to mess around with trying to punt.
This is Robles trying to get around the corner.
He's got it. He's going all the way.
Number 16, Emmanuel Robles. And a Warrior touchdown.
And that seals it. Fresno High will win their first game of the season. Robles going 36 yards. First Fresno High touchdown not scored by Najera.
And this really gives the Warriors some momentum, even with their 21 players. A win like this, and they get to go into the big game with Roosevelt on a real roll.
And the extra point's good.
Point after
Fresno High extends the lead to 32-17 with 28 seconds to play.
Fresno High Warriors 32.
So the
McLane
Warriors
Highlanders 17.
Giddy on the sidelines as they are looking at potentially winning their first game of the season.
And even if a team is going in 0-8, you get that win, and it just makes the bus ride back to Fresno High is going to be so enjoyable, and the sting and the hurt of all of those defeats is momentarily just washed away. It's a great feeling when you can win your first game or break a losing streak.
Now there you saw the replay. Emmanuel Robles with the touchdown run that will ice a 32-17 win. 28 seconds left on the clock. And the Warriors dancing in celebration in their bench area. Their first one of the season is within reach. Frustrating night for the Highlanders. And after a series of short kicks, this one is going to go deep.
Ooh, that was a good hit there for the Warriors.
Zamora takes the big hit at the 13-yard line as the clock at 22 seconds. So 22 seconds to play here from McLane Stadium as the Fresno High Warriors about to celebrate their first win of the season.
And as giddy as the Warriors are on McLane, this has got to be a bitter, bitter defeat because they had opportunities to win this game. They made some poor plays. The execution wasn't real good. And with their lack of depth, they got worn out, but Fresno High has the same amount. And now McLane has to close out against a Hoover team that's improved week by week as the season has went on.
Give going up the middle and goes for nothing. As that was Camino.
That's going to end this game, Dan.
Indeed it will, as the clock ticks down, 12 seconds.
Number 34, Ernesto Camino on the carry.
And the players are celebrating out on the Fresno High sideline. The Warriors dejected, or the Highlanders dejectedly walking toward
and that's the ball game.
And that's it. The clock strikes
Mr.
0
Pinto
at
calls the
McLane
game.
Stadium. As the Fresno High Warriors at midfield, diving, dancing,
Fresno
jumping
High
up and down and
Warriors
celebrating.
32, McLane Highlanders 17.
You look at them down there and you do not know this is a 1-8 team. That is a sweet, sweet win for the Warriors.
So Fresno High, their first win of the season, 32-17, our final tonight here at McLane Stadium over the McLane Highlanders. And we will be back to recap this fierce North Yosemite League battle and have much more when North Yosemite League football here on CMAC continues. Welcome back to McLane Stadium, where the Fresno High Warriors have just won their first game of the season, defeating the McLane Highlanders 32-17. Dan Taylor with the coach, Fred Clark. And Fred, the Warriors, once the second half hit, they were a completely different team.
Well, they were down 10-7 at the half, but down 10-0 early when they got that first touchdown to put them back in the game. And then Nahara came in, a quarterback at the beginning of the second quarter, and it was a completely different team. And the second half, McLane had the 10-7 lead, and the Warriors were able to score 2 touchdowns without McLane running a play. They got the touchdown and then a fumble on that a short kick after the touchdown, and McLane could not recuperate. They had an opportunity. They briefly got back in the game, and they had an opportunity maybe to tie the game up and turn the ball over, and then the Warriors just really were determined not to let this one slip out. Big win for Fresno High. Got to be happy for them.
Well, Nathaniel Nahara, the quarterback, did not play at all in the first quarter. In the second quarter, you saw the pass, and then the 2-yard run to make it a 13-10 game. Then he threaded the needle to Mathis to put him up even bigger, and here was the big first down play. And what an effort on this night from the Fresno High Warriors offense. And once again, the pass, this one going to Lopez for the touchdown. Came out in the end zone, but that put him up 25-17. And then they wrapped it up. You had the big return there by the Warriors, about a horse-collar tackle, not called, but
yeah, that was definitely a horse collar. We were right on that one. Here's the interception here, I think, that just pretty much sealed the game. And it looked like Alvarez is going to be able to pull that down, and Brown just was able to get it away from him. And
yeah, this is the final touchdown. This was Robles.
This was on a 4th down.
It was. And he managed to get around the corner and off to the races into the end zone for the final touchdown that capped off the 32-17 win. So a big one for the Warriors, and now they've got the game, their circle game, coming up next Friday night, which you will see here on CMAC as the Warriors tangle with their arch rivals, the Roosevelt High Rough Riders of the 91st Annual Battle for the Pig. So that's going to wrap it up for us tonight.
Well, I say, they're going to go into that game with their hair on fire now. Should be a great game next week.
Indeed. For the coach, Fred Clark, I'm Dan Taylor. Thanks for being with us here on CMAC. Our final score, once again, Fresno High winning their first of the season, 32-17 over